Before Indonesia became the nation we know today, before modern borders were drawn across Sulawesi, there was a kingdom whose influence stretched far beyond its shores, a kingdom that proved greatness is never measured by the size of its land, but by the strength of its legacy. This is the extraordinary story of Banggai, a land where history, diplomacy, courage and identity came together to shape one of Central Sulawesi's most remarkable regions. Long before Banggai became an autonomous regency, it was the heart of the Kingdom of Banggai, a maritime kingdom whose royal capital stood proudly on Banggai Island. Surrounded by rich seas and strategic trade routes, the kingdom was never isolated from the outside world. Instead, it became an active participant in the political and commercial networks of the Indonesian archipelago. Its rulers forged friendships with the mighty Sultanate of Ternate, one of the strongest maritime powers in eastern Indonesia. They strengthened diplomatic ties through royal marriages, cultural exchanges, and flourishing trade. The Kingdom of Goa in South Sulawesi also became an important ally, connecting Banggai with one of the most influential kingdoms of the 17th century. These relationships transformed Banggai into far more than a remote island kingdom. It became a respected player in regional politics. Its influence even reached beyond the archipelago. Portuguese traders sailed into these waters seeking valuable spices and new opportunities. Later, the Dutch East India Company, better known as the VOC, expanded its influence throughout the region, bringing Banggai into one of the most significant chapters of Southeast Asian colonial history. For centuries, Banggai stood at the crossroads of civilizations. It witnessed diplomacy between kingdoms, competition among global powers, the arrival of foreign merchants, and the gradual transformation of Indonesia itself. Then came the 20th century. The Dutch colonial administration reorganized Sulawesi into a modern bureaucratic system. At the beginning of the 1900s, the island was divided into two major provinces, South Sulawesi and North Sulawesi. Each province was divided into administrative districts called afdelingen. Those districts were further divided into onderafdelingen. Within those subdivisions remained the traditional kingdoms that had governed their people for generations. During this period, Banggai became an onderafdeling within the Poso afdeling under the Central Sulawesi Coordinating Residency, which at that time belonged to North Sulawesi Province. Although administrative structures changed, the people of Banggai never abandoned their unique identity. Their traditions survived, their customs endured, their dream of governing themselves remained alive. As Indonesia proclaimed independence in 1945, hopes for greater local autonomy spread throughout the country. Communities everywhere wanted the opportunity to shape their own future. Banggai was no different. By the middle of the 1950s, the movement for regional autonomy had become impossible to ignore. Political parties joined forces with student organizations to demand that Banggai receive the status it deserved. Their voices echoed through formal discussions in the Regional House of Representatives in Poso. These were not emotional protests without direction. They were organized, strategic, persistent. On February 17, 1956, local leaders established the Regional Autonomy Advocacy Agency, known as BPOD. Its members represented political parties, as well as the traditional Banggai self-governing administration. Together, they carried one mission: to secure official recognition for Banggai as a Level 2 autonomous region. Delegations traveled to the national government, meetings were held, arguments were presented. Years of determination followed. History rarely changes overnight. It changes because ordinary people refuse to give up. Then, everything changed. On July 4, 1959, Indonesia enacted Law No. 29 of 1959 concerning the establishment of Level 2 regions across Sulawesi. For Banggai, this was a defining moment. The former Banggai Onderafdeling, covering the territory of the former Banggai self-governing kingdom within the Poso Afdeling, officially became an autonomous Level 2 region named Banggai. Its administrative capital was established in Luwuk. It was more than a legal decision. It was the realization of generations of aspirations. A kingdom had evolved into a modern regional government while preserving the identity that had defined it for centuries. Only months later, another historic event unfolded. On December 12, 1959, authority was peacefully transferred from Syukuran Aminuddin Amir, the last king of Banggai and head of the Banggai government, to Bidin, the first regent of Banggai Regency. This peaceful transition symbolized something extraordinary. It was not the end of history, it was the continuation of history. Traditional leadership respectfully passed the responsibility to democratic governance. The spirit of Banggai remained unchanged, only its form evolved. 1 year later, on December 13, 1960, Government Regulation No. 47 placed Banggai within the newly formed province of North and Central Sulawesi. During this period, Banggai Regency was divided into two administrative districts. The Banggai district, centered in Luwuk, included the districts of Luwuk, Kintom, Batui, Lamala, and Balantak. Meanwhile, the Pagimana district consisted of Pagimana and Bunta. These administrative divisions became the foundation for the region's future development. Schools expanded, roads improved, government services became more accessible. Communities that had once been separated by distance became increasingly connected. Today, Banggai stands proudly as one of the autonomous regencies of Central Sulawesi. Its capital, Luwuk, serves as the gateway to a region blessed with extraordinary natural beauty. The regency stretches between approximately 122 degrees 23 minutes and 124 degrees 20 minutes east longitude and 0 degrees 30 minutes to 2 degrees 20 minutes south latitude. Its land area covers around 9,672.7 square kilometers, representing roughly 14.22% of Central Sulawesi province. Beyond its land lies an even greater maritime domain. Its sea territory extends across more than 20,309 square kilometers. Its coastline reaches approximately 613 kilometers, embracing pristine beaches, hidden coves, coral reefs, and some of Indonesia's richest marine ecosystems. To the north lies the magnificent Tomini Gulf, one of the largest and deepest bays in Indonesia. To the east stretches the Maluku Sea, connecting Banggai to centuries of maritime history and international trade. To the south lies the Pelling Strait, alongside Banggai Island's Regency. To the west stand Tojo Una Una Regency and North Morowali Regency. This strategic position has shaped Bangai's destiny for generations. It is a land connected by oceans rather than divided by them, a crossroads where cultures meet, where commerce flourishes, where traditions endure. Yet the greatest strength of Banggai has never been its geography alone. Its greatest strength has always been its people. People who protected their kingdom, people who embraced change without abandoning their identity, people who transformed dreams into reality through patience, unity, and determination. Every coastline tells a story, every village carries memories, every generation inherits a legacy built through centuries of resilience. Banggai is not simply a place on the map. It is proof that history is not merely something we read. History is something we preserve, something we honor, something we continue to build, because the future belongs to those who never forget where they came from. And as long as the spirit of Banggai lives within its people, its remarkable story will continue to inspire Indonesia and the world for generations to come. But history alone does not explain Banggai. To truly understand this land, you must look beyond the dates, the laws, and the maps. You must look at the remarkable landscape that has sustained civilizations for centuries, because Banggai is a place where nature and history have always walked side by side. From above, the Regency appears like a masterpiece, carefully painted across the eastern edge of central Sulawesi. Towering mountain ranges rise from the heart of the mainland. Dense tropical rainforests blanket ancient hills that have remained largely untouched for generations. Hundreds of rivers flow from these highlands, carrying fresh water toward fertile valleys before finally meeting the sea. For thousands of years, these landscapes have supported farming communities, fishermen, traders, and explorers. Nature was never an obstacle. It was the foundation upon which Banggai was built. Its surrounding seas are among the richest marine ecosystems in Indonesia. Warm tropical waters nourish extensive coral reefs that are home to countless species of fish, sea turtles, dolphins, giant clams, and colorful marine life. Scientists recognize the waters surrounding central Sulawesi as part of the Coral Triangle. This region contains some of the highest levels of marine biodiversity anywhere on Earth. Every dive beneath the surface reveals a living world that few places on the planet can equal. The sea has always been more than a source of food. It became Banggai's highway. Before roads connected villages, the ocean connected kingdoms. Wooden sailing vessels crossed these waters, carrying spices, forest products, ceramics, woven fabrics, metals, and stories. Generations of sailors memorized the winds. They understood the tides. They navigated using the stars long before modern technology existed. The people of Banggai became masters of the sea because the sea shaped their identity. Today, Luwuk stands as the vibrant heart of Banggai Regency. Often called one of the most beautiful coastal cities in Sulawesi, Luwuk combines modern growth with breathtaking natural scenery. Here, emerald mountains rise dramatically behind a coastline that opens toward the vast Tamini Gulf. Sunrise paints the sea with brilliant shades of gold. As evening falls, the horizon glows with colors that seem almost unreal. Visitors often arrive expecting an ordinary provincial town. They leave wondering why the rest of the world has not yet discovered this extraordinary destination. Yet Banggai's greatest treasures are not found only in its capital. Across the Regency, waterfalls emerge from untouched forests. Crystal clear rivers carve their way through limestone valleys. Hidden caves preserve geological stories millions of years old. White sand beaches remain peaceful even during peak travel seasons. Small fishing villages continue traditions passed down through countless generations. Every journey reveals another hidden wonder waiting to be explored. The fertile land has also made Banggai an important agricultural region. Rice fields stretch across broad valleys. Coconut plantations line the coast. Corn, cassava, cacao, cloves, nutmeg, and tropical fruits contribute to local livelihoods. Agriculture remains one of the pillars of the regional economy, supporting thousands of families across the Regency. At the same time, Banggai possesses extraordinary natural resources beneath its soil. The Regency plays an increasingly important role in Indonesia's energy sector. Oil and natural gas reserves have helped transform Banggai into one of central Sulawesi's strategic economic centres. Large-scale energy projects have attracted national and international investment, creating employment opportunities while strengthening Indonesia's energy security. This combination of agriculture, fisheries, tourism, and energy gives Banggai a unique economic character. It is a region where traditional livelihoods continue alongside modern industrial development. But development means little without culture, and Banggai possesses a cultural heritage that remains deeply rooted despite centuries of change. Local customs continue to guide community life. Traditional ceremonies celebrate important moments from birth to marriage. Music and dance preserve stories that cannot be found in textbooks. generations continue to pass down local wisdom through spoken tradition. Respect for elders remains a cornerstone of social life. Mutual cooperation continues to unite communities whenever challenges arise. These values have survived kingdoms, they have survived colonialism, they have survived political change. Because culture is strongest when it lives inside the people rather than inside monuments. Religion has also played a significant role in shaping Bangai's identity. Communities of different backgrounds have lived together for generations. Mosques, churches, and places of worship stand as reminders that harmony is built through mutual respect. This spirit of coexistence has become one of Bangai's greatest strengths. Perhaps this is why visitors often describe Bangai not only as beautiful, but also as welcoming. Hospitality here is not performed for tourists, it is part of everyday life. A smile offered to a stranger, a meal shared without hesitation, a conversation that quickly turns into friendship. These simple acts reveal the true character of Bangai. Its people understand that wealth is measured not only by natural resources, but also by kindness. As Indonesia continues to grow into one of the world's largest economies, regions like Bangai will play an increasingly important role. Its strategic location connects eastern and western Indonesia. Its abundant resources support national development. Its marine wealth contributes to food security. Its young generation carries the energy to shape a brighter future. Yet with every opportunity comes responsibility. Economic growth must protect the forests that protect the rivers. Industrial progress must preserve the seas that have sustained generations. Tourism must celebrate local culture rather than replace it. The challenge of the future is not simply becoming richer, it is becoming stronger without losing the identity that made Bangai extraordinary in the first place. Because history teaches one timeless lesson. Civilizations that forget their roots rarely preserve their greatness. Bangai has endured because it never abandoned its soul. It evolved, it adapted, it embraced the future while honoring the past. And that is precisely why its story deserves to be remembered. Not only by the people of Central Sulawesi, not only by Indonesians, but by anyone who believes that true greatness is built through resilience, unity, vision, and the courage to preserve what truly matters. The story of Bangai is far from over. In many ways, its greatest chapter has only just begun. And if you believe Bangai's story ends with its history, geography, and natural beauty, think again. Because the true measure of a civilization is not only what it inherited, it is what it contributes to the future. Today, Bangai is entering a new chapter, a chapter driven by education, innovation, infrastructure, and the determination of its people to compete on a national and global stage. Across the Regency, schools continue to expand educational opportunities for children in both urban centres and remote villages. Universities and vocational institutions are helping prepare a new generation equipped with knowledge, technical skills, and the confidence to face an increasingly competitive world. Teachers who once worked with limited resources are shaping future engineers, doctors, entrepreneurs, scientists, and public servants. Every classroom represents more than a place to study. It represents hope, because every educated child becomes another bridge between Bangai's proud past and its limitless future. Infrastructure has also transformed the rhythm of everyday life. Road networks continue to improve connections between districts. Bridges shorten travel that once took hours. Ports strengthen the movement of people and goods throughout eastern Indonesia. Luwuk's airport has become a vital gateway linking Bangai with major Indonesian cities. What once required long sea voyages can now be reached in a matter of hours. Distance no longer defines opportunity, connectivity does. Healthcare continues to improve as hospitals, community health centres and medical professionals work to provide better services across the Regency. Challenges remain, particularly in reaching isolated communities spread across mountains and coastal areas. Yet every improvement reflects one simple truth. Development is not measured only by buildings, it is measured by the quality of life experienced by ordinary people. Meanwhile, Bangai's economy continues to diversify. Small and medium enterprises are growing. Family-owned businesses create employment while preserving local traditions. Fishermen continue harvesting the rich waters of the Tamini Gulf and the Maluku Sea. Farmers cultivate fertile land that has sustained communities for generations. Young entrepreneurs are embracing digital technology to market local products far beyond Sulawesi. Coffee, coconut products, seafood, handicrafts, agricultural products, creative industries. These are no longer limited to local markets. They are increasingly reaching consumers across Indonesia. And with every product that carries the name Banggai, another story travels alongside it. A story of resilience, a story of quality, a story of pride. Tourism also holds extraordinary promise. Imagine standing on a quiet white sand beach where the only sound is the gentle rhythm of waves. Imagine diving into waters so clear that coral gardens stretch beneath you like underwater cities. Imagine hiking through forests alive with birdsong before reaching waterfalls hidden deep within tropical valleys. This is not fantasy. This is Banggai, a destination that still offers something increasingly rare in today's world: authenticity. Many places have become famous before they were truly appreciated. Banggai offers the chance to experience extraordinary beauty before crowds transform the experience. Here, travellers do not simply take photographs, they create memories, they discover cultures, they build friendships, they leave with stories worth telling. But perhaps Bangai's greatest asset has never been its beaches, its forests, its mountains, or even its natural resources. Its greatest treasure has always been its people. People who understand the meaning of perseverance. People who continue smiling despite hardship. People who value family above personal ambition. People who welcome strangers as honoured guests. Communities where cooperation is not an event, it is a way of life. Across villages and towns, the spirit of mutual assistance continues to thrive. Neighbours help build homes. Families support one another during difficult times. Communities unite during celebrations and moments of sorrow alike. These traditions cannot be measured by statistics, yet they define the true wealth of Banggai. In an age where technology connects billions of people through screens, Banggai reminds us of something even more valuable: human connection. The connection between generations, the connection between culture and identity, the connection between people and nature. These bonds have allowed Banggai to withstand every challenge history has placed before it. From the era of powerful kingdoms, to colonial administration, to the struggle for regional autonomy, to independence, to modernization, every generation has inherited responsibility. Every generation has added another chapter. Now that responsibility belongs to today's youth, the future engineers, teachers, doctors, scientists, artists, athletes, entrepreneurs, public servants, and community leaders. The choices they make today will determine what Banggai becomes tomorrow. Will its forests remain green? Will its oceans remain healthy? Will its traditions continue to inspire future generations? Will economic progress benefit every community? The answers will be written not by history books, but by the people living there today, because every generation eventually faces the same question: what legacy will we leave behind? The people before us built kingdoms, protected traditions, established governments, expanded education, developed infrastructure, strengthened the economy, preserved culture. Now it is our turn to build upon that foundation, not by forgetting the past, but by honouring it through meaningful action. Banggai is not merely a regency in central Sulawesi. It is a living reminder that greatness is never created in a single moment. It is built across centuries, by ordinary people making extraordinary sacrifices, by leaders who choose unity over division, by communities that refuse to surrender their identity, by generations who believe tomorrow can always be better than today. So when you hear the name Banggai, do not think only of a location on the map. Think of a kingdom that embraced diplomacy. Think of a people who fought peacefully for self-governance. Think of coastlines stretching for hundreds of kilometers. Think of seas rich with life. Think of mountains that have watched history unfold. Think of communities whose kindness leaves a lasting impression on everyone they meet. Because places become unforgettable when their stories become unforgettable. And Banggai's story is one that deserves to echo far beyond the shores of central Sulawesi. It deserves to be told. It deserves to be remembered. And above all, it deserves to inspire the world. But every remarkable place is ultimately remembered for one reason. Not because of its borders, not because of its statistics, not because of the wealth hidden beneath its soil. A place is remembered because of the mark it leaves on the hearts of those who experience it. That is the enduring power of Banggai. For centuries, this land has welcomed traders, explorers, sailors, scholars, government officials, and travelers from across the archipelago and beyond. Many arrived seeking opportunity. Many departed carrying something far more valuable, a deeper understanding of resilience. Because resilience is woven into every chapter of Banggai's history. It survived shifting empires. It adapted to changing governments. It embraced independence. It welcomed modernization. Yet through every transformation, it never lost the values that defined its people. Respect, unity, perseverance, humility. These are not simply words, they are principles that continue to shape everyday life. Walk through the villages of Banggai and you will discover communities where traditions remain alive. Elders continue passing down stories that cannot be found inside museums. Children grow up hearing legends that connect them to generations long before them. Families gather to celebrate milestones with customs preserved across centuries. These traditions are living history, history that breathes, history that speaks, history that continues. This cultural continuity is one of Banggai's greatest strengths, because a society without memory eventually loses its direction. Banggai has chosen a different path. It moves forward without abandoning the wisdom of those who came before. That balance between tradition and progress is increasingly rare in the modern world. As technology transforms every aspect of life, Banggai demonstrates that innovation and heritage do not have to compete. They can strengthen one another. Young entrepreneurs are embracing digital platforms while promoting local products. Students are learning global knowledge while preserving local identity. Communities are improving infrastructure while protecting cultural traditions. This is not resistance to change, it is intelligent adaptation, the kind of adaptation that allows civilizations to endure. And perhaps that is the greatest lesson Banggai offers the world. Progress should never require forgetting who you are, because identity is not a barrier to development. Identity is the foundation of sustainable development. The future belongs to societies that understand both where they are going and where they came from. Banggai understands both. Its coastline stretches for more than 600 kilometers. Its seas connect islands, cultures, and opportunities. Its mountains protect forests that sustain rivers and agriculture. Its fertile land feeds communities. Its energy resources contribute to national development. Its biodiversity enriches one of the world's most important marine ecosystems. These are extraordinary gifts, but every gift carries responsibility. Protecting coral reefs means protecting future generations. Preserving forests means safeguarding clean water. Supporting local fishermen means protecting centuries of maritime knowledge. Investing in education means unlocking human potential. Economic growth and environmental stewardship must move together. One without the other cannot create lasting prosperity. Around the world, many regions have sacrificed their natural beauty in pursuit of short-term gains. Banggai has an opportunity to choose differently, to become a model where development, conservation, and cultural preservation grow together. Imagine a future where visitors from every continent come not only to admire Banggai's beaches, but also to learn from its approach to sustainability. Imagine universities conducting research in its forests and seas. Imagine young innovators building businesses that create prosperity while protecting nature. Imagine local traditions becoming sources of inspiration for global audiences. That future is not impossible. It begins with the choices made today. Every child encouraged to pursue education, every forest protected, every beach kept clean, every cultural tradition preserved, every act of kindness shared with a visitor. These small actions become the foundation of extraordinary change. History has already proven what the people of Banggai can achieve when they unite around a common purpose. They transformed a kingdom into a modern autonomous region. They navigated political change with dignity. They built institutions that continue serving future generations. Now a new mission awaits, to build a Banggai that is stronger than ever before, more prosperous, more educated, more connected, more sustainable, while remaining unmistakably Banggai. Because the greatest success is not becoming someone else, it is becoming the very best version of yourself. And that truth applies not only to individuals, it applies to entire regions, entire nations, entire civilizations. One day, decades from now, another generation will look back at this era. They will ask what we chose to protect, what we chose to build, what kind of future we left behind. May they see thriving forests instead of barren hills, healthy coral reefs instead of empty seas, prosperous communities instead of forgotten villages, children filled with opportunity instead of uncertainty, a culture celebrated rather than forgotten. That is the future worth fighting for, because every generation inherits a story, but only a courageous generation leaves behind a legacy. Banggai has inherited an extraordinary story spanning kingdoms, diplomacy, independence, and progress. Now it has the opportunity to create an even greater legacy, a legacy defined not only by economic growth, but by wisdom, by unity, by sustainability, by compassion, by courage, and by an unwavering commitment to future generations. So let the world know this. Banggai is not simply a destination. It is not merely a historical region. It is not just another administrative regency on the map of Indonesia. Banggai is living proof that history can inspire the future, that tradition can fuel innovation, that natural beauty can coexist with development, that unity can overcome every challenge, and that ordinary people, working together across generations, can build something truly extraordinary. Because kingdoms may rise, governments may change, generations may come and go, but the spirit of a people who refuse to surrender their identity will endure forever. That spirit lives in Banggai. It lived yesterday. It lives today. And if its people continue to protect what matters most, it will continue to shine for centuries yet to come. This is Banggai, a land shaped by history, strengthened by resilience, blessed by nature, driven by hope, and destined to leave an unforgettable mark on Indonesia and on the world.